EDGR 601, welcome to week 4. We're talking about the synthesis paper, your assignment that's due on Monday. The synthesis paper is the literature review test drive. What you're going to be doing is starting an assignment that you will get some feedback on that then at the end of the week you'll add to be your literature review. It's going to have the same format as a literature review. You're going to have your introduction, your review of literature, analysis, and conclusion. So what is the synthesis paper? What you're going to do is you're going to focus on 2 to 3 articles that have one big idea. What do I mean about big idea? I'm talking about if you decided to do your research paper on parent involvement, one big idea about parent involvement might be to get the parents to volunteer at your school. So that's your big idea. It's important to note that in the body of your paper, you don't want to write big idea in the body of your paper. This is more of a way that we talk to each other about identifying what you're synthesizing. So once again, if your research question is parent involvement, think of your big ideas as ways to get parents involved. One of those ways is volunteering. In the synthesis paper, we only focus on one of those ways. In the literature review, you're going to focus on 3 to 4 of those ways. So take 2 to 3 articles that focus on one idea, in this case volunteering. I'm going to look at 2 articles that talk about volunteering, and I'm going to summarize that information. I'm going to synthesize that information. You hear us use the word synthesize a lot in this course, and there is always a little bit of confusion about what synthesis is. So when we synthesize information in scholarly writing, we're combining information from multiple sources. Okay, a lot of times in the writing, we get Article 1 says this, Article 2 says that, Article 3 says that. And that's more of an annotated bibliography. What we need to do is combine that information together. What's the relationships between the sources, between the studies? Did they have anything in common? Were any of the methods the same? Did the strategies that were implemented have anything in common with them? And one thing that's important about synthesis is that you need to be able to draw your own information based on what you see. We infer relationships all the time in our own existence. If we see something on the news and then see something happen in real life, we can infer a relationship there. So what we're doing in synthesis is we're inferring a relationship in the literature. So having read 3 sources on, say, volunteering, can I infer something else? Is there some new piece of information that the 3 articles combined shed light on? So what we're doing is we're drawing connections and shedding new light on a topic based on existing information. We're synthesizing, we're establishing relationships, we're comparing and contrasting. So when you write, and this takes place in the review of literature, but especially in the analysis section. So it's going to take place in the review of literature a little bit as you write, but in the analysis sections where you really need to come up with your synthesis, where you really need to shed new light on the topic. How do the studies compare and contrast? What new information can be drawn? Your analysis section should not be 1 paragraph. Oftentimes it is, and it'll get kicked back to you and ask for more detail. The analysis section is where we synthesize, where we bring it all together. What happens in the conclusion section? This is just a short statement about what conclusions can be drawn from the literature. All right, that's a brief overview of the synthesis paper. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to your professor, and I'll see you again for one more week 4 tip.